Welcome to the Auditor Estate Uniform Accounting Network screencast for creating and posting purchase orders using UAN. For the purposes of this screencast, we assume that you have your entity's basic vendor information already set up in UAN. If not, you may wish to view the screencast for setting up vendors and payees. In this screencast, we will cover how to add purchase orders of all types, as well as how to edit, delete, display, and post-print a regular purchase order. To navigate to purchase orders, we select the Accounting module, the Transactions menu option, and then the Purchase Orders function. The Purchase Orders area will open in the main viewing section to the right. The functions available in this area are Add, Edit, Delete, Display, and Post-print. The Close button just closes the purchase order area. Clicking the Add button provides you the option to add a regular purchase order, a then and now purchase order, a regular blanket certificate, and a super blanket certificate. The process is the same for creating these POs and BCs, except for one small difference, which we will cover later. Note that if you choose the wrong type of PO to begin with, you'll have to close the PO or BC and start over. For our example, we will create a regular purchase order from the Purchase Orders area by clicking Add, then PO Regular, which opens the Add Purchase Order form. The Add Purchase Order form is made up of several sections, buttons, and tabs. They are the Vendor section, the Date section, the Purchase Order section, the Detail and Distribution Data Entry grids, which are displayed in their own tab, the Additional tab, the Save button, and the Close button. Please note that all green fields are required fields for the purchase order. However, some green fields turn white when you click on them. Don't let this confuse you. The field is still required. To begin, we will select Vendor drop-down menu and either choose the plumber from the drop-down menu or type in part of the vendor's name to receive a list of recommended options from UAN. Once we select a vendor, notice that the vendor's location information, if it has been input into UAN, is automatically populated into the fields. Only vendors who exist in the system can be selected. If you need to create a vendor for the system, you will need to do so from General, Maintenance, Vendors, and Payees. See the Creating Vendors and Payees screencast for more information. Next, we will verify that we have the dates we want this PO to be issued and certified under the Dates section. Click on the associated calendar drop-down menu and scroll through the calendar to choose the appropriate dates for these required fields, or type in the date in the corresponding field. Note that UAN has several rules for what constitutes valid dates for these fields, which it will enforce. For example, the system may not allow you to use a blanket certificate whose expiration date has passed except under specific circumstances. If you're having difficulties with the dates for your purchase order, consult the UAN accounting manual. Notice that under the purchase order field, UAN displays several read-only fields that provide information about this PO. Note that the undistributed field must equal 0 before this PO can be successfully saved. Now we're going to fill out the information for the plumbing services performed in the detailed data entry line. It's a good idea to input information into all of the fields, even though only quantity, description, and unit price fields are required for a purchase. Because this PO is for a service, we will have quantity 1 of the described services for a set price. The subtotal field will be filled in automatically. Once the detail entry is input, we move it up into the Detail Data Entry grid by clicking the Insert Row arrow on the far right-hand corner of the Detail field, or by pressing the Enter key. Continue to add as many entries as you need until all items are added to the Detailed Data Entry grid. If you need to delete an entry, click the X button associated with that entry. Next, we'll fill out the distribution information. We'll begin by clicking on the account code designation section in the distribution data grid to select the account codes from the drop-down menu. The account name and amount are automatically populated when we do so. If you want to edit the amount, just click on the amount field and type in the new amount. Otherwise, it will be populated with the lesser of the amount of the PO or the amount remaining in the selected account. Again, once the distribution entry is complete, click the Insert Row arrow or press the Enter key to move it into the distribution data entry grid. You can continue to add account codes to the distribution section as necessary. If you were using multiple accounts, you could distribute the expense equally among them by checking the Distribute Equally checkbox just above the distribution data entry grid. Sometimes you may need to record or provide additional information about a purchase order. Use the Purpose section under the Additional tab to provide additional notes. Also available in the Additional tab are the Billing and Shipping sections. You may use these sections to designate Bill To and Ship To locations for this PO using the Bill To, Ship To, or either location drop-down menus, provided that the address information has been input into UAN. Review your purchase order to make sure that it is complete. Next, click the Save button in the lower right-hand part of the form, or click the Close button to close the form without saving any changes. If you click the Close button, UAN will prompt you with a message asking if you want to save your work. Click Yes to save your work and close the form. No to close the form without saving your work, or Cancel to continue working. In this case, we will click Cancel and continue working. If you click the Save button, UAN will save your work, display a message that it has saved your PO in the lower left-hand part of the screen, and clear the screen to let you add more purchase orders. Note that while your batch PO has been saved, it has not yet been posted. We're done creating our PO. You create other POs almost exactly the same way you create a regular PO. In fact, the only differences are that the PO type listed under the purchase order field is displayed with a different PO type, and that which date fields are required vary for the POs and BCs. In this example, the Then date field is required for a Then and Now PO. Otherwise, the process is exactly the same. To edit purchase orders, select the POs you wish to edit by checking the checkboxes to the left of each associated PO, and then click the Edit button. Note that posted POs will not be displayed here and cannot be edited. The Edit Purchase Order form will open with your existing purchase order information. As with adding new POs, all required fields are displayed in green, optional fields are white, and read-only fields are the same color as the background. To edit a field, click on the appropriate field to add or change an option. You may click directly into Detail and Distribution entries to edit them directly. Note that under the Detail and Distribution data entry grids, you will not be able to edit any automatically populated information, such as the subtotal or account name fields. If you wish to delete a Detail or Distribution entry, click on the X associated with that entry. Next, click the Save button or the Close button in the lower right-hand part of the form. If you click the Close button, UAN will prompt you with a message asking if you want to save your work. Click Yes to save your work and close the form. No to close the form without saving your work, or Cancel to continue working. In this case, we will click Cancel and continue working. If you click the Save button, UAN will save your work and post a message in the lower left-hand part of the form. Note that unlike adding purchase orders, clicking Save in Edit mode does not clear the form. It will advance you to the next form if you are editing more than one PO. You may scroll between forms using the navigation arrows at the bottom left of the screen. The total numbers of POs will be displayed in a format similar to the one displayed here. Click the Save button, then the Close button when you are finished editing the PO. We're done editing our PO. To delete purchase orders, click on the checkboxes of the POs you want to delete, and then click the Delete button. UAN will prompt you asking if you really mean to delete the selected POs. Click OK to delete those POs from the system, or Cancel to avoid deleting those POs. If you click OK, the batch PO will be removed from the system entirely. Note that the system will not reuse the deleted batch number for that PO. The deleted batch number is permanently removed. To display purchase orders in read-only format, click on the checkboxes to the left of the POs you want to look at and click the Display button. The Display Purchase Order form will appear showing the first of the POs you selected for display. If you selected multiple POs to display, you may scroll between them using the navigation arrows at the bottom left of the form. Click on the Close button when you are finished viewing the POs. To post and print purchase orders, click on the checkboxes to the left of the POs you want to post and then click the Post Print button. UAN will prompt you to confirm that you want to post the selected POs. Click on the OK button to post the selected POs or Cancel to stop the post print. Once posted, UAN will bring up the print screen and prompt you to print your post to the printer of your choice. You must print the posted PO. Select a printer and click Print to make a copy. After this step, the posted PO will no longer be visible from the purchase orders area. You will find it under Accounting, Utilities, Purchase Order Utility. Once UAN has printed the copy, UAN will prompt you asking if all items printed all right. If everything printed successfully, click Yes. If you need more copies or the PO did not print properly, click No to open the Purchase Order Utility for a chance to reprint. To close the purchase order form, click the Close button. Whether you're working with regular purchase orders, then and now POs, or blanket certificates of any type, the process for managing any kind of purchase order is essentially the same in UAN. The key points you will want to remember for managing purchase orders are: 1. Be sure to fill out or at least verify all of the green required fields. 2. Your purchase order undistributed amount must be 0 before you can save the PO or BC. 3. When in the Add Purchase Order form, the Save button will clear the screen after saving your information so that you can add more purchase orders. 4. Additional functions for recording or tracking PO information can be found under the Additional tab. And 5. After you post a purchase order, the purchase orders will only be available from Accounting, Utilities, Purchase Order Utilities. Thank you for using this UAN screencast on creating and posting purchase orders in UAN. For further information, you may contact the UAN support line at 800-833-8261 or by email at uan_support@auditor.state.oh.us.